Is there a new openness to use the Bible in public schools? One organization that's been active in getting students exposed to the Bible as a historical and literary document is the National Council on Bible Curriculum in Public Schools. Elizabeth Ridenour is the president and is joining us now. Ms. Ridenour, welcome to the program.
Hey, Jeff. Thank you so much.
Give us some history on the National Council on Bible Curriculum in Public Schools, if you would.
Well, let's see. In 1963, of course, the Bible was, as a devotional use, was thrown out of the public schools. And from that time on, as I got older, I was kind of wondering about it. I became a paralegal and found out that the phrase separation of church and state had been greatly misused. It was never in our Constitution, Bill of Rights, or founding documents, and most people probably know about that. In fact, the Supreme Court, in interpreting the First Amendment, approved the use of the Bible in the classroom for historical and literary purposes. So we began as a nonprofit just for the state of North Carolina, which is where we're located. And it took off so fast from there that we rechartered as a national nonprofit. And it is now, the Bible's now been implemented in over 4,200 public high schools in 42 states. Of course, it's taught as an elective, and that's kind of how it all began. We had no idea it would take off so quickly.
So it's an elective, then students would sign up, say, in their junior or senior year for extra classes. Is that normally how this would work?
So actually, it's for both middle school and high school.
Okay.
And it is an elective, and it's not a off-campus program. It's on campus, on the high school campus, during school hours, for credit as an elective, just like any other class.
Elizabeth, what had our founding fathers intended when it comes to the Bible and in terms of education for our young people?
Well, as far as the young people, the students have wondered what's been missing. Unless you have a working knowledge of the Bible, and particularly the books of the law, it's very difficult to understand even the basis on which our Constitution was founded. And is the predicament of how the public schools are these days, which we're not real happy about, but 88% of the students nationwide are educated still in the public school system, and we can't just abandon them. So our founding fathers have never intended for the Bible to be removed from our public schools. There was a secular study done by the American Political Science Review on the political documents of the founding era, which was 1760 to 1805, and 94% of all the documents that went into the founding era were based on the Bible. And of that, 34% of the contents were direct quotations from the Bible. And then you might hear some people say, we've been doing this now for 31 years, and sometimes you'll say, well, what about other things getting in there like Satanism or other religions? We have never had that happen in one school. Not once in all these years has another religion like that tried to come in as an elective. Now, all the other worldviews are already being taught in the schools. The secular humanists, the Marxist-Leninists, the New Age, all that material is already there. We're just giving the children a chance as an elective to read the biblical Christian worldviews, which is their legal right. So that's kind of where we are. Oh my goodness, there's so many reasons for this, like for art. Yeah. What meaning could Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper and Michelangelo's Moses have to students if they don't know about the figures who inspired those works of art? How can you study Middle Eastern history, which would come in very handy now,
right,
without incorporating the Bible? You can't. So
really, the Bible is essential to being a well-educated person, period.
Well-rounded.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, what does the law say in terms of what is allowed and what is not allowed in terms of the Bible in public schools?
Well, you're not allowed to proselytize, of course, which we're very careful not to do. However, we have a 300-page curriculum guide for the teacher that comes with a 150-page teacher's companion guide that has all the lessons plans, test activities in it every day for the teacher to make it real easy for the teacher, and also for the teacher to follow all the legal guidelines without getting any trouble. And we provide, actually, over the last 10 years, we used to charge the schools for the curriculum, but we now provide all the curriculum for the teachers and the materials and even the student versions for the schools at no charge.
Is the Bible itself used as a text in the class in addition to the curriculum that you have?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. The Bible is the main textbook, yes. The kids read through the whole Bible in the course of a year.
Ah, wow. That's a lot of material.
It is. It is.
Give us a sample, a little bit of a taste of the kinds of things that a student would learn about the Bible if they're taking this class.
I can tell you this. Rabbi Daniel Lapin wrote us a wonderful endorsement, and in there he said, from cover to cover, that our curriculum overflows with rich, informative lessons from both the Tanakh, the Old Testament, as well, of course, from the New Testament. He says he's delighted that the curriculum begins with an entire semester focused solely on the Tanakh. Students examine famous figures like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, and Moses, as well as Jewish Bible-based laws and customs that are part of the Jewish holidays, customs, and traditions still celebrated today. And he just thinks that this curriculum would richly prepare students, he says, for future U.S. government, history, and civic courses.
That is a wonderful endorsement, and I tell you that the exciting thing is that this curriculum has been time-tested, and it has stood the legal standards, and it is something that when people have in their school, they can know that it has been tried and tested. So that's a wonderful...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the ACLU doesn't like it, of course. They're always going to say boo. But if you stand up to them, then they're most likely to leave you alone. They try to go to schools or school districts where they feel they can intimidate them or scare them. So that's the main thing, is for people to know their rights and stand up for them.
If people would like to know more about the Bible curriculum in public schools, how can they find out more?
Sure. Well, they can call us at 336-921-0070. We'll be glad to help them over the phone, or they can go to our website, which is Bible in Schools, schools is plural, .net. So it's BIBLEINSCHOOLS.net. And there's a whole lot of information on there. They'll know a lot of them. They'll be familiar with a lot of the people on our board of directors and advisory board. Chuck Norris and his wife came under our board of directors, and it so happened in a way because if you remember Walker, Texas Ranger, in one of their programs, at the end of the program, they showed a close-up of them laying a Bible down on a coffee table because in the program there had been so many problems with students and children. And they said, this is what needs to be returned to the public schools. So when they said that, I contacted them, and they were very much in favor of joining with us.
Outstanding. That's a great endorsement. With Chuck Norris on your side, you can't go wrong, Miss Ridenour. Oh, wonderful.
Oh, me.
Well, Elizabeth Ridenour has been our guest. She's president of the National Council on Bible Curriculum in Public Schools. Once again, the website, BibleInSchools.net, BibleInSchools.net. Miss Ridenour, thank you for your work in this wonderful organization, and God bless you as you get the Bible in public schools all across this nation.
Oh, thank you, Jeff, for all that you and AFA do. Y'all are awesome, and we appreciate your help in getting the word out.
Today's program, along with our guest information, is available on our podcast page at afr.net. And be sure to get your free 6-month trial subscription to The Stand magazine or sign up for the daily email at afa.net/thestand. Thanks so much for listening today, and join us next time on The Stand Radio.